Hey friends, welcome to Bronze Medal Moms, where we aren't going for gold, we're going for bronze on the daily. I'm Amy.
And I'm Amanda, and we're here to remind you that you don't have to be perfect to show up, survive, and even thrive in motherhood.
The podcast for moms who are doing their best, forgetting water bottles, and sometimes serving cereal for dinner. Hey, Amanda.
Hello, Amy. How are you?
Good, good. I'm excited.
Good this morning.
Yeah.
Today, we're talking about surviving the summer as a mom. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, work from home, or working outside the home kind of mama, whatever it is, we're surviving summer together.
I love it. It's like that magical season where the sun stays out way too late, the grocery bill triples, and no one seems to know what day it is.
Or whether they brush their teeth last,
Yeah.
or why they have a swimsuit in the living room. Total chaos.
Love it, love it. It's kind of like a holiday break, but much warmer.
But everything's kind of sticky.
Yeah, yeah.
Covered in heat and popsicle thickness.
Yes. And, during that like last week of school, whether you homeschool or your kid is in school, we all go into summer with those rose colored Pinterest glasses or like, oh, summer is coming, lemonade stands, barefoot kids running around, family game nights, vacations.
Yeah, and by week 2, you're hiding in the pantry, Googling overnight camps that will take my kids immediately.
Yeah. Okay. Don't get us wrong. Like summer definitely has its moments, but it comes with a whole different set of pressures.
Oh, 100%. Like somehow entertaining your kids for 10 hours a day while also working, also feeding everyone, and trying to just hold your sanity alone.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sure all of our homeschool mom friends are totally laughing at us right now.
Yes. But all you homeschool moms, you're superheroes. You're a whole different breed of parenting. We're not talking to you for summer.
Yes.
So like summer, whatever.
Whatever. That's not a thing. Well, let's talk about those summer camps
Yes.
because, it's both a blessing and a puzzle. And I have done all of the gamut. So before we started this, I've done where my kid, because I worked full time, they had to be in a daycare all day. Like there was no summer break for my kiddo. Then kiddo was in daycare all day. And then she aged out of daycare and it's like, okay, gotta find camps all day. Now I work from home and it's like, okay, we're gonna do some camps. We're gonna do some nothing where you're home all day. So I've run the gamut. But if your kid's in day camp, congrats, because you've just replaced school drop off with a 7 a.m. mad summer dash and a lunchbox that you forgot to pack.
Exactly. And I've lost my spot. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It closed on me. Did you see my face go? Ah!
That's okay. It's because I went off like on a tangent.
Totally. That was great. I'm so sorry. I was like, get back there.
That's okay.
And
We're gonna edit.
Scroll down to mom friends, and I was like, oh shit, where am I?
This will be one of our outtakes for our Patreon subscribers.
Oh my gosh. I bet you could have seen the look on my face of like, oh no, the whole computer just crashed. Fun. All right. You start again because I loved everything you said with summer camps and talking the whole gamut.
Yeah.
So sorry. I'm not going to touch anything. Please tell me all this stuff is easy to edit out.
Do you want me to start over or are you just going to go right back into heaven forbid it's a theme camp?
Actually, I can just do that because I liked yours. All right. And heaven forbid it's a theme camp. Today's crazy sock day. Meanwhile, my kid is barefoot in the driveway yelling, "What socks?" And actually, you know what? This might be a bronze medal mom moment win, or really a bronze medal parent win. When you haven't done laundry in weeks and instead of hearing your kids complain that they don't have clothes, just call it a crazy sock day or mismatched outfit day. Hey guys, crazy sock day. There's no socks in the house.
Oh man, yeah, but that won't work on anyone besides a teenager.
That's true.
Now, sleepaway camp, that's a whole different beast. Last year was our very first experience with sleepaway camp. And I feel like you go through these phases. For some parents, it's a dream come true. For other parents, it's a total panic. Like, will they brush their teeth? Will they remember their underwear? And last year I did both. I was like super crazy helicopter freaking out parent who, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. Can I find a 4-week sleepaway camp for next?
And you have also got like, but I'll miss you potential meltdown. I know I've said this before. My kids are stage 5 clingers, and they've never gone to sleepaway camp. Honestly, I mean, maybe I did once as a kid, but it's just I'm not a sleepover either. And like sleepovers for us are a strong maybe in this house. Like we try them, but many nights I go to pick them up around 11 p.m. and I bring them home. Like we don't do the overnights. My kids just don't like it.
They just don't like it. Yeah. Well, we can talk about the cost of summer camp. It's crazy. Well, even day
Right.
camps are expensive. Like, let's get into that. But I will say maybe your kiddos will get there. Like last year, my daughter was 10, getting ready to turn 11 because she has an all
Uh-huh.
day. And that was her very, very first sleep away ever from us. And so wasn't sure about it. Had all of the fears, and she absolutely loved it.
And that's the thing. Like mine will have the pre-freak out cries of like, oh, it's gonna be so awful. And then like there's the little bit of cry, and they might be like a little sad at night, but I guarantee she would have so much fun. Well, and actually my older two both would have a blast.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what I convince them for.
Yeah.
I didn't sign a this summer. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I have a friend. We should have her on here as a guest. She is so pro sleepaway camp. She grew up, I think her and her husband both, like they were both sleepaway camp kids. They turned into counselors. Her boys go for 4 weeks. And
Wow.
I know. I was like, wow, I need to learn your ways.
That's like sending your kids to boarding school.
Yeah, yeah, but can you imagine
See you in the winter.
can you think of the cost of that though? Like
Oh my God.
summer camp nowadays, especially if you're doing 1-week day camps, those suckers are like the cost of a mortgage.
Right. And if you look at the price of summer camp, you wonder like, is my kid getting a week at Hogwarts? Like, they're learning to cast spells? Or are they seriously just gluing macaroni to a paper plate? Because I don't want to pay someone to have my kid glue macaroni to a paper plate.
Exactly. Like back in the day, I think summer camp was like $50 and they got a peanut butter sandwich. Now it's literally like a down payment on a car. And you're telling me my kid's going to sleep like for sleepaway camp, sleep on a cot or like crappy little bunks, eat off plastic trays and come home with a tick bite. And then it's going to cost me, $3,000 a week.
Exactly. Exactly. And I had to laugh about this one. So my baby is in it's not really camp. It's just daycare. Like daycare just continues through the
Right.
summer.
Right.
So it's no different to him. But but the difference is you pay by the week instead of paying for the full month. And so you see it come out of your checking account every single week. And my husband came to me and he's like, wow, that daycare for Raleigh is really inexpensive. And I go, well, it comes out every week. It's actually more expensive than, and he's like, can we just ask him to take it out every week? This is so much better. I love seeing these smaller numbers of like, oh, this is fine. But like, yeah, it's every week.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just the small number. It's not the adding it up. We're not doing
It's
math.
not adding it up.
No.
And speaking of add-ons, like, I've heard parents talk about, this blows my mind, all like the extras of camp, like archery, that's $75, horseback riding, $150. I bet breathing forest air is probably an extra $30 for an environmental fee. Like your kid was outside, you got to pay for it. Sorry.
What? Yeah, no. Okay, I want the all-inclusive camp experience.
Yes.
Like I want to have one payment and be done with it. And my friend I mentioned, did you know, I'm going like off topic here again, Amanda, I'm sorry. There are companies that will find a sleepaway camp for you. It's like, it's almost like college recruiting or like matching. That's what they do. They're like summer camp matchmakers.
What?
I know. I had no idea. You tell them your kid, their age, what they're interested in, what type of camp. Like, do you want it to have a religious focus, non-religious? Do you want it to be heavily like into nature and activities? More. And
Do you
they
want your children coddled or do you want some tough love for a week?
right. Do you want them in the same state as you? Do you want them out of state? And they will match you with a camp.
Wow.
So
Oh my
clearly,
gosh. I can't imagine. My kids are struggling with sleepovers. Can you imagine if I was like, you're gonna go to Colorado for a month? They would melt. They would physically just melt into a puddle.
right. Can you I mean, sleepaway camp is a much bigger thing, I think, than we realize.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is true, like you said, people that grew up that way. I remember I was talking about this, it's totally off topic. Well, not really. It's still for summer. But my closest friend growing up, she had two working parents and, it was 80s, 90s, and she was dropped off at school and did like the preschool or the before school drop off. Like she was dropped off at like 7 a.m. And then she stayed till like 5. And I remember, and I didn't have that. My mom was a stay-at-home mom for like the first 5 years of her life, and then she went back to work. But I remember thinking like, oh, I always felt so sad for my friend Jennifer, and I was like, that's so sad that Jennifer, has to stay at school. And I remember we talked about it as adults, and she was like, whatever, it was awesome. And I was like, really? You weren't like sad that everyone else went home and you had to stay? She's like, no, I got all my homework done. I played. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that's how you grew up. And that's just like, if you grew up going to sleepaway camps, you're like, heck yeah, sleepaway camps are great. See that, kids?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, also, like I said, I was a nervous wreck. I cannot wait until sleepaway camp. It's coming up this month. It's my absolute like, because what I also did, and I don't know if I mentioned this before on another episode, but I also send my husband away for the same week. He goes
I love that. I love that.
he's able to work he works for a company that has multiple office locations. So he's going to go to one of their other office locations for the whole week. It's glorious. So mamas, bronze medal moms, if you can figure out a way to get a week by yourself while your kid is away, it will be the best week ever. I'm so productive. My house has never been more organized. There's zero clutter because I'm not the cause of the clutter. It's the best. I highly recommend
It's like the official when moms freak out, they're like, everyone just get out. They're like, really, get out. But I love you. But get out for a whole week.
Right. I love it. But let's be real, because whether you work full time or you work from home or you are a stay-at-home mom, summer is not relaxing.
No. Working parents are juggling Zoom meetings while simultaneously making mac and cheese and yelling, get out of the dog's water bowl. Oh my gosh. This actually reminds me of what I don't know if this makes you sound like a bad parent or like a superhero parent, but I still remember I was on a Zoom call and it was like a corporate Zoom call. So it wasn't like with my girlfriends. It was like, I want to be looking my best. I want to look professional, the whole thing. I'm on this corporate Zoom call and my middle son at the time was like 2 and he was just playing, doing whatever. And all of a sudden I look over and he was a choker. He choked on everything. He put everything in his mouth. I look over and he's choking. And because he choked on everything, and we were just used to this, I literally on the Zoom, I was like, hey, excuse me for 1 second. Popped over, gave him the Heimlich, back to the Zoom. Like, no problem.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, that is the quintessential working mom of like, hold on, I gotta save him. Okay, he's breathing again. Back on, let's roll. We're going back to what we're doing.
I mean, seriously, I don't know if that's bronze or gold or like if that's like platinum. I don't know where that falls, but that's
I mean, it's a good thing that I saved it, but also that like, should a better mom have been like, are you okay? Should we talk to go to the doctor? I was like, no, I gotta get back to work. Let's go. But chewing on stuff. Move on.
Yeah. Well, and I heard someone say it this summer and it really resonated with me. Like that last week of school, somebody said, oh, for all the work at home parents, it is the official start of 3 months of bring your kid to work day every day. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is so true. And stay-at-home moms, I mean, you're now running a full-time summer camp without any help, without any pay, and without any lunch breaks.
Exactly. There's no easy version. And I think that's what you have to remember. We're all winging it. One pool day, one popsicle bribe at a time. We're winging it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the popsicle budget. In fact, I have my really close friend who lives in the neighborhood. Her daughter's been spending a lot of time with my daughter. We've only been out of school for a week. Okay. She already brought popsicles the other day to replenish my popsicle stash. Speaking of popsicles, so let's
I will say it's got to the point my baby Raleigh loves popsicles so much. He'll have like 4 a day. And thank goodness he likes the sugar-free ones, so I don't feel like I'm just like shoving sugar down his mouth. But like that's what he wants for dinner sometimes. And I feel like I should be like, okay, let's have a little protein, let's do something. But I'm like, I don't know, it's really hot. I just want a popsicle too.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's get right into it because Amanda and I have come up with our official bronze medal mom survival tips for summer.
Okay, this one I think is huge, and it's actually going to give you some grace, which is what I love. Don't overschedule yourself. Kids need boredom. They need it. I know that sounds weird, and I know your kids are going to complain. I'm bored. You should be bored. That leads to creativity, or at least like weird sock puppets that you can pretend to love. Like, you would be surprised how fast I'm bored can turn to something creative and awesome that they need to learn to entertain themselves. That you do not need to be the director of everything all the time.
So true. You know, one thing that we did, and it has been the best thing ever, and it was so unexpected. I got a free trampoline from someone in the neighborhood. Toss,
Nice.
yeah, toss that thing in the backyard. I know people are like, "Oh, they're so dangerous." Well, put it in the
How
back.
did you put like the netting or like if they make them in that like netted dome?
Yeah, and it totally came with the net around it, totally free because the neighbor was putting right. The Adelaide and her girlfriends, well, even if boys come over, like, you know, one of her besties has a brother, they are out on that trampoline constantly. So they're not in watching TV, they're not in on their phones. They may not even be jumping. They just like to go lay on it and hang out. Um, and so when that free one, we had it for a long, long time, and you know, it's out in the Houston heat and humidity, it eventually broke. They missed it so much, and then we're coming in the house like trying to get on screens and phones. I found another one that someone in the neighborhood was giving away, and I immediately was like, I need that.
Right.
Because like where I grew up, I lived in the country. You know, my parents didn't overschedule me. We would get bored, but we'd go outside and play. We'd play in the creek. We'd ride bikes to who knows where. Like, we do live in a little different time where that's not really a thing, and I live in suburbia. That trampoline, oh my gosh, it's kind of the equivalent of like the preteen clubhouse, I think.
Okay, funny you should say that. I am gonna shout out my other friend. She's my coworker slash boss, and she had a trampoline for her kids. Her children are now in college and high school, late high school, or like 60, driving, 16 in college. They still have the trampoline, and her husband has been telling her, like, we need to get rid of the trampoline. We need to get rid of the trampoline. And she's like, no, because sometimes, I don't know, the 16-year-old like lays on it or something. Like, she just wants the trampoline there. I found this picture. I'll have to post this on our Instagram page. That instead, like, they kept all the thing up, but they took the net off, the round net off, and to keep me from falling off, and put like white curtains around, and then covered it with pillows and like blankets, and it's like a new hangout lounge.
That's
And
super.
they love it. It's awesome.
That is super cool.
It's like the teen way of like, I'm done jumping. Now I just lounge. Now I lounge around.
I love that. That is super cool. So here's the other number 2 thing for surviving the summer. Rotate activities, right? And kind of keep it fresh. And you don't have to spend a lot of money, especially if you're not one who is putting your kid in day camp. So, you know, one year we did that. My daughter, I had her in horse camp, rock climbing camp, theater camp, wildlife camp, art camp. Like every week was a camp.
I bet you had to like refinance your house.
Oh, it's so expensive. Um, so now this year we're actually not doing any day camps. Part of that's because she's in a big production on a main stage theater. So she has rehearsal every single night from 7 until 10 and every Saturday and Sunday from 1 to 5. So we're like,
Fun. That's
yeah,
fun
no,
for you.
right. It's fun. But I also don't want her to just bed rot and couch rot all day during it. So we're rotating some activities. We're doing like, pool day or library day or, let's just go out and get some ice cream or let's go outside so mom doesn't lose it day, right? Like kind of fresh, but like rotate the activities. And if you want to get like really gold medal momish, you can even have your kids put their ideas of like their summer bucket list on strips of paper and like draw them out, right? Like,
Cute. I like that.
yeah. It's like summer bucket list bingo or something.
I like that. That's super cute. All right. Another one that I mean, so don't overschedule, rotate activities, lower your standards. We don't have to go for perfection here, folks. I mean, I feel like if you have made it to this episode of this podcast, you're well aware that we need to lower your standards. You do not have to be perfect. A frozen pizza is a summer meal. A screen is a babysitter. It's fine. If you need a moment for your sanity, give them an hour of screen time. It's fine. It's not going to kill them. And my kids' favorite activity, this is actually one of my favorites too, is I'll put them on the trampoline, God bless that trampoline, with a bar of soap and I'll hose them down. And that counts as bath for the night.
Oh, yeah, totally. That's one of the girls' favorite things to do. They will ask me to bring them like liquid soap so they can. Yeah. Now you got to be careful. It gets a little slippery. We don't want any broken bones, but
Sure.
they love it. And
They love it. It's so much fun.
And really, I guess it's lowering the standards, but the other thing we could call it, and that's what I told my daughter we're doing this year, it's a 1980s summer.
Thank you. There you go.
That's what it is. It's a 1980s summer. We're bringing it back. So the other tip for those who do have camp, whether it's, like a day camp, you can pack the camp bags the night before or don't pack them the night before because no matter what, you're going to be hunting for that swim towel at 7:58 right after you have to leave anyway. Like, let's be honest.
I make my kids pack up. My sister said this is like an OC or ADD part of me, but I've just always done that. I make the kids pack up their bags the night before and they line them by the back door. So like I physically can see, like you have checked your bag. You know where this bag is. You know what you're taking tomorrow. All these things are checked off for when we head out the door. And it doesn't matter. Every time somebody runs back in like, wait, I need that water bottle or I need that journal, but not the green journal, the black journal. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, even when we prep the night before, we still have to do stuff morning of, like make her big, water bottle.
Right.
I can tell you how many times we've like, oh, forgot the water bottle. Even though it was right there next to the stuff we prepped the night before. Got to turn around or.
Gotta turn around. Gotta do it.
Yeah, got to do it. So.
All right. Now, this survival tip, I think it seems obvious if you've been blessed to be in this kind of situation, send them to grandma's. If you're blessed to have family, but I'm not actually going to open this up because if you're blessed to have family or friends, I really think this generation of moms, and I'm including because, like I've got the surprise baby, so I've got some late 20-year-old moms all the way to like the mid 40 moms like me. This generation of moms don't ask for help. They feel this pressure that they have to do it on their own. And absolutely not. Ask for help. People want to help. If grandma is in the neighborhood, I guarantee grandma wants to see the kids for an afternoon or even for a sleepover or something like that. If you've got, godparents in the neighborhood, maybe they want to take your kid for an ice cream. Don't feel bad asking someone like, hey, could you come take them for a second? Or could I drop them off for a second? That doesn't make you a bad mom. That makes you a smart mom. Those kids are never going to think like, oh, my mom dumped me at grandma's. They're going to be like, no, grandma's is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I screamed the whole time. It was amazing.
Well, and I get both sides of this. So we've never had family here. We live in Texas. All of our family is in Ohio. So we've never had family. Now, when my daughter was younger, my parents could fly down all the time and would watch her.
Oh,
Or, I would fly up there with her, which is great. That's a great option. But now they can't come down as often because my grandmother has moved in with them. She's 103. That's like a different podcast episode. But now that
magical
Adelaide,
pocket. That's it.
yeah, but now that Adelaide's older, we're really into the friend group, right? And I really, you lean on those other parents, like you said. And listen, I know there's a lot of listeners out there who are very anti sleepover. I totally get it. Listen, I worked in crime scene investigation. I actually have written 2 books on crime scene investigation. There is nobody as skeptical and assuming everyone is a serial killer until proven otherwise than I am. But I do think, even if that's kind of your rule, if you have a really close family friend where you get to know the parents and you really feel comfortable, it is a blessing. Like, it is such a great thing that Adelaide can either have her friends over here, or then she can go over to her really good friend's house. It gives us a break. It gives them a break. It gives us a date night or them a date night without having to pay for a sitter.
Right.
Even if they, and a lot of times we've also done, especially when you're first starting and you're not 100% comfortable with the sleepover because maybe you don't know them that well yet, I have the mom sleep over too. I'm like, hey, the girls can sleep over. Do the moms want to sleep over too? We'll have like a girls' night.
Oh,
So
that's a fun idea.
yeah, we've done that so many times. Yep.
And then also, you're not stressed about there's no like picking them up at 11 p.m. It's like, no, if you want to go sleep in the bed with your mom, go sleep with your mom's in that room.
Exactly. Especially like when you're first getting into it. You're right. Because sometimes the kiddos, like, they make it until midnight, then they freak out and they want to go home. And it's much easier for mom to already be there. So we've done that a lot.
Oh, that's super smart. I like that.
Fun. So, the other tip that is really fun to do over the summer, if you have time, is you can teach them the art of giving back, right? Like, bake cookies for a neighbor or go volunteer somewhere.
And this doesn't have to be huge. You don't have to overthink this. So we did this actually during COVID, and we did it a handful of times. My kids loved it. It wasn't very expensive because we all know, you're on a budget in the summer. So what we did is we bought a loaf of bread, peanut butter and jelly. We made like 20 PB&Js, added chips and a juice, bagged them up, and because it was COVID, we're going to stay in the car. But I think I'd probably stay in the car for this anyway. Our kids, we drove around Austin and handed them out to homeless people.
I,
Austin.
I love that. I love that.
So easy. The kids loved it. We didn't have one person not want a peanut butter and jelly and chips and a juice for lunch. Like, we just drove around in the morning, handed out lunch, and then that was our day. And they felt like they gave back a little bit, and it was great.
That's so
It's
great.
crazy.
I volunteer through the Junior League here in Houston, and I just discovered on one of my volunteer shifts a place called Kids Meals, I think, Kids Meals Inc. And they actually will allow kids 8 and up to also volunteer. You just put lunches together, or you either make the lunches or you just bag them, everything that's already made. And so I actually already signed Adelaide and I up for 2 shifts this summer, and it's from 9 to 11:30. So her and I are going to go. That'll be like one of our summer day activities to prevent her from, like I said, couch rotting all summer. So,
I
yeah.
love that though. I think
Yeah.
it's super. And like, we also did this once, and I don't know, maybe our post office is just nice. We made cupcakes for our post office once, and you would have thought, like, oh, maybe you can't take food, like, not prepackaged
Right.
food. Oh, our post office took them. They loved them.
Really? That's it. That's a good idea. The other thing, this
No problem.
this place that does the kids meals, they also take brown bags that you have decorated. That's like a volunteer activity and counts for volunteer hours. So you could do that on your own. You could go buy a bag of like 40 brown paper sacks from Walmart. And one activity is you and your kiddos could just decorate them, or not even you. The kids could decorate them while you like go sit outside and get some fresh air. But
Oh, that's a good idea though. Then you just take them.
Then you just take them, especially if your kids are too young to actually volunteer at the place. Then they could still do it at home and then you take them. Because every bag that this place packs, they want it to be decorated and cute.
Okay, and I want to hear from people because I feel like we're very specific with like our areas. If you have one in your area, I want to hear about it. Send us a message. I want to hear about it. We can shout that out.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another favorite little thing that we're actually doing this summer. We have done before with just friends, but this time we did it with my middle son's class. He graduated second grade. He's leaving second grade, going into third. And I texted all the other moms. This was so simple, guys. I texted the other moms in our little second grade friend group, and I said, my kids love postcards. They love getting crap in the mail. It makes their day. If you want to share your address, let's send postcards over the summer. And if you're traveling, great. If not, send a postcard from your home city. It takes time for the kiddos to complete the postcards, teaches them about sending mail. You'd be so surprised how many middle school kids are like, what's a stamp? Where does that go? You're like, ugh. But it teaches them about all the steps and it's a total win-win. So like, and we're not going to a place fun. Well, I mean, it's going to be kind of fun. But we're going to Port Aransas. Like Port Aransas in Texas is not, it's not a huge glamorous like, we went to Hawaii or we went to Europe. Like it's Port A. But I'm telling you, we're going to get like 10 postcards and he's going to send them to his friends and he's going to love it. He's going to think it's great.
That is super fun. I really love that idea. Postcards is something I used to always do as a kid back in the 80s. Like we always sent postcards to friends or grandma, and that is definitely not something. In fact, when we lived in the RV for a year, we collected postcards. That's one thing we collected. Adelaide did, but we never sent postcards. Like I think that's kind of fallen on the wayside of like pen pal letters. Remember, you'd meet. We'd go on vacation every year to Myrtle Beach. I think that's what everyone who grew up in Ohio did. You went to Myrtle Beach. And I would always make friends the week we were there. And then you get their address and you write for them. Like I made a friend named Kristen and we wrote back and forth for years after we met on that summer vacation. I feel like that's gone to the wayside. So I love that idea of kind of bringing it back. Yeah.
Kids love mail. Kids love mail. Like I said, and the postcards are super easy. You can make your own postcards if you want. Super easy. You go to the grocery store, have your kid pack out postcards. Great.
I love it. Well, summer is just weirdly special. And thinking through all the bronze medal moms, whether you're working from home, you're working in an office, you're staying at home, you're continuing to homeschool, it's exhausting. And I also, am thinking of when I was working too, your schedule's off if you're doing a day camp because like drop off and pickup times are kind of different or you got to get from this camp to that camp. So it's exhausting and chaotic. It may not be those rose colored glasses we thought about, but it's also full of magic. It can have some slower mornings. It can have some less stress. It can have ice cream for breakfast on a Tuesday, some backyard chaos. So it can be super fun and magical.
And I think that that's the stuff that they'll remember. Like we talked about this in our episode about dinner, that if you think a charcuterie board is calling it in for dinner, your kids are gonna think it's the greatest thing in the world. Like even if we're over here Googling first day school countdown, remember you only get 13 summer breaks with your kiddos. That's it. So enjoy them. Don't stress about trying to make it perfect. Just enjoy these moments that you have with them.
Yeah. And wherever you are, maybe you're right now in camp drop off line, you're working at your kitchen table, you're commuting home from your office, or you're refilling the snack drawer for the 3,000th time. You're doing great. You're showing up. And here at Bronze Medal Moms, that's enough.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. Don't forget to follow Bronze Medal Moms and share this episode with a friend who's also drowning in sunscreen and summer schedules.
And also remember, we have a new website, bronzemedalmom.com, where you can find us. You can also follow us on Instagram. We'll be back next week with more stories, laughs, and reminders that perfection is totally overrated. Bye, friends.
Thanks for listening to our moms on Broad Spindle Moms.
Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. See you soon.